everyone, and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rutan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show, where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. Just a shout out to all the guys that are watching these on a regular basis. I really appreciate it. Mike, David, all you guys that are watching all the time. You're making comments. It really makes me feel good. I like it. That's what keeps me going, and it makes me realize that this show has some value to it. Doing the little Movember thing, so you know, by the end of the month, should have a pretty good mustache going on. Just real quickly, and blends are a huge category. I've talked about it before. It's probably one of the biggest categories in wine today are red blends. But we're going to kind of do something a little bit different. We're going to go all over the world with red blends and talk about them a little bit. So we've got a blend from France, a blend from Oregon, a blend from Washington, and a blend from Chile. And we'll see how they do. We'll see how they compare to each other and see where they land in the scheme of things. So let's get started right off the bat. Let me set this up kind of funny. You guys probably get a kick out of that. This is the 2016 Chateau Moulin Pontet Bordeaux Superior. And I've talked to you many times about Bordeaux of 2016. I've ran into a bunch of them that are just killer. What's killer about this one is only $12. So for a lot of you guys that are, you know, just starting in the wine world, you don't want to spend a lot of money. I understand. I don't even want to spend a lot of money now, and I've been in it a long time. So, you know, we don't want to spend a lot of money. This is 12 bucks. It's 52% Merlot, 28% Cab, and 20% Cab Franc. Thank you, Scott, for getting back to me on that blend. I really appreciate it. Not on the back of the bottle. I kind of expect that out of the French guys, but not necessarily. Can you see that? Whoop. I'm going to go back here just a little bit. I need to work on the lights in the front. Chris! That looked a little dark to me, but we'll see. So $12. Whoop, got a little visitor. $12 Bordeaux from 2016. Let's see what we get on the nose. So it's got that kind of cedar box thing that you get out of a lot of Bordeaux. I like that. Classic, a little bit of currants, but a ton of cedar. Ton of cedar. A little bit of earth, dirt, as we'd say. A little bit of a red flower component coming through. But this is kind of a dirty, cedary little Bordeaux. Kind of, you know, that's what you expect out of them. And for you newbies getting into the wine world, if you don't, you need to experiment with Bordeaux. And I would suggest going to one. Go to your local wine store. Come to me if you're around in my area, and I'll help you find one that has a little more fruit, so you can kind of graduate. And I always start out with maybe one with a little bit more fruit, and you say, well, these aren't too bad. And then go, you see what your palate can stand. Train your palate. It's like anything else. We train to run. We train to play basketball. We train to play baseball. We train to do a lot of things. Train yourself to drink wine. It's not that hard. Doesn't have to be expensive. That's what I'm here for. So we got a little cedar, dirt, currants, maybe a little bit of tobacco and licorice coming through. Let's see what we get on the palate. Classic Bordeaux, leather, earth, dirt, some currants in there, minerality like crushed rock. What I like about this Bordeaux, geeking out a little bit, so it's a blend. I missed that part. I miss some things sometimes. Like I did that episode on Merlot, the blind tasting. Forgot to mention that it was actually a Central Coast Merlot that came in first place. Central Coast, the one they said, you know, that kind of killed it for Merlot. Well, not all Central Coast. We can't just stereotype. But it was a very interesting point, and I didn't point it out. So, this is a blend. Blends are popular, but a lot of people don't always equate blends with Bordeaux. And that's what they are. Not all of them, but most of them have a blend in them. Like this was, you know, it's Merlot, Cab Franc. It's a blend. So, on the palate, you get the currant, you get a fruit, but you got a lot of minerality, a lot of earth, a lot of leather, tobacco. really balanced. The tannins are structured. They're sturdy, but they're approachable. Good acidity that's blended in. But I think for a lot of you, maybe if this were your first Bordeaux, might not go there. Unless you told me, yeah, I drink Turkish coffee. That's what I drink. You know, of course, well, maybe I say, okay, you'll like this. The point is that if you told me you drank Turkish coffee, you love Turkish coffee. Yeah, that's what I drink every day. Maybe, yeah, I like to smoke cigars. I'd say, well, you know, have this with a cigar. It'd probably be really good. But that being, this is balanced, good earth, good leather, some currants, tobacco. It's got a lot of stuff that I love in Bordeaux, and it has ageability. I think even, you know, this is $12, guys, $12. And you could probably stash this one away. You might want to grab a few. I have it at the store. This is not a selling platform. I'm just saying I have a few at the store because that tariff that is going to happen pretty soon will hit. Might hit this one. I'm not going to spend time looking for the alcohol content, but anything under 14% is going to get hit, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so this is 14% exactly. So, you know, the price on French wines is going to go up to a degree. Cheese is going to go up, at least for a while. Very minerally on the finish, a little tight, which I like, which means it'll age. Tobacco lingers. Yeah, I got to go B plus A minus on that for $12. Now remember, we talked about this. QPR, quality to price ratio, quality to price. This is a pretty damn good Bordeaux for $12, and I'm going to give it a B plus A minus. I like it a lot. Let's move on. I didn't know what order to put these in, but based on past experience with some of these, I'm going to go with the Oregon red blend. This is 2015 Forest Flyover Red, Rogue Valley, Oregon. And this does give the blend on the back. It is 72% Merlot, 23% Cab, 5% Cab Franc. So, guess what? Not too far different from that one. This rolls in at $13. Hope you can see this. Chris, can you see it? All right. I think it'll be okay. Be punny there. So let's see what we get on the nose. It's very challenged. I'm not getting a lot on the nose. Very little. Now, if you've been watching these programs, I know a lot of you have watched a lot of them. I always say I like to get aromatics. It's very important to me to get aromatics. But, that being said, it doesn't always mean the wine is going to be bad. A lot of times wines turn out really good. So I do like good aromatics. This doesn't have... It smells like dried cardboard. Yeah, I'm not getting a lot on the nose. Let's see what we get on the palate. Wow, very interesting on the palate. Very complex. I like this wine. I think it's, wow. I get a little bit of meatiness to it, like chewing on a piece of meat with a little bit of currant and a lot of tobacco on this baby. And there's a very interesting flavor that I can't quite nail. Wow. Solid wine, good acidity, very well integrated with this wine. A lot of tobacco on the back end. If you like tobacco, you're going to love this wine. A lot of currants, but the currants are muted by the acidity, so it's got that good balance. It's definitely not a fruit bomb, but it's not an acid bomb either. It's kind of, it's not too acidic, but at the same time, it's acidic. What else can I say? It's got acid to it, but it's well balanced. Solid food wine. I'm going to say that. I'd love to have a blue cheeseburger right about now. there's a menthol component. That's what it is. There's a menthol component coming through that's kind of blended with the currants, blended with the tobacco, blended with the acidity. So it's like this beam of menthol coming through. That's what I'm getting on this, big time. A little bit of red flower petals on it. This is fresh, almost crunchy tannins on it. But again, and I've had experience with this wine in the past, it will age. It's a 15. I would lay this down. I lay this puppy down, let's just say, I didn't say that, 5 to 10 years. I would say the same for the Forest. Solid red blends. Maybe not beginner red blends. So if you're a beginning wine drinker, be careful with these. Might turn you off. I don't want to turn you off. I want you to progress in your wine. This is like if you're running a marathon, let's say. This would be week 6. Just saying. You extend a little bit. You do these different sort of things. You might be hitting some track routines. That would be it. A little bit of pepper coming through on that. I'm going to go B plus on that wine. I like it. Solid wine. Let's move on. So, I haven't seen these guys' wines in a long time, and I really like this guy. He's a really cool guy. 2015, State Line Red, Gifford Hurlinger is the name of the winery. Walla Walla, Washington. This is a red blend of Merlot, Cab, and Petit Verdot. I don't have the percentages, but it rolls in at $14. Really cool guy. I like this guy a lot. God, I can't see. That's all right. I'm not supposed to see. You are. Let's give it a little rinse. Ooh, good color on this. So $14, I think there's a lot of you out there that say, hey, $14 not bad. That's a price range that I go to a lot. All of these fall into that category. Let's see what we get on the nose. So this has kind of a plum, little blueberry. Yeah, plums, blueberries, and currants is what I'm getting on the nose. Yeah. Not super expressive. Once again. These are just the perfect temperature for smelling soda. Because I care about you guys. I want you to get the real deal. I want you to get what I'm getting. I want you to, when you buy this wine, I want you to get what I'm talking about. Just saying. Let's see what we get on the palate. Okay. Love these two wines, but now we're talking about a introductory, really nice red blend. I don't mean introductory on quality. I just mean for those of you just breaking into red blends, we're looking for that wine that has good balance. This has fruit. I get the currants, the plum notes come through, little backside of blueberry on this one, a little bit of spice, nice smooth tannins, good weight on the palate, not a jammy wine, but not an austere wine, not minerality. It just has a lot of good things about it. A little bit of tobacco on the backside, but not a strong tobacco thing, just a little bit. Just enough to give it that nice complexity, nice integration, nice and seamless across the palate. Just a touch, a titch of minerality on the finish, but just enough. This would be a great wine for you if you want to taste a red blend that has some complexity and is approachable and nice. This is a good one. Now, there's a little white pepper on the backside too. This is like a 10 in the delicious category, but not over the top. Nice balance. I like it. Good color too. A little tobacco on the backside, a little minerality, a little bit of black pepper coming through, but muted by the fruit. Great wine. Great wine. This is a great effort. $14. This is a steal, guys. This is a steal for $14. I'm going to go straight up A-. This is a solid red blend. Okay. So that's Washington, A-. B+ Oregon, B+, A- France. Now we're going to Chile. Now they don't leave you guessing about what's in this bad boy. It's right on the front label. It's kind of cool, I think. So this is the El Quay Wines Carmenere Malbec Syrah 2016, El Quay Valley, Chile. This rolls in at $16. So we had a tasting not too long ago, and this was the bomb. I mean, everybody loved it. I didn't get really tasted that much, so I'm excited to try it. Let's see what we get on the nose. So this has what we call pyrazines, herbaceous. It has blackberry branches, a little bit of tomato stem. Very typical of Chilean wines. In the backdrop you get a little bit of dirt, a little bit of tobacco, and some cherry kind of currant thing going on. But Carmenere, which is right there, see it says Carmenere, that is very herbaceous, very pyrazine, you know, all that branchy sort of stuff. Carmenere shows that. And it comes through a little bit of black tea as well. Let's see what we get on the palate. Now this is a cool wine, guys. This is really a cool wine. I'll tell you why. You get the pyrazine, you get the kind of blackberry stem, a little bit of just a touch of tomato stem, but then you got all that fruit. You got the currants and the dark cherries. Then you have the little bit of licorice coming through and just a touch of tobacco, smooth tannins, black pepper and white pepper on the backside. This has all of that going on. And yet at the same time, it's just a delicious wine. I mean, a delicious wine. I mean, it's what can I say? You can drink this all by itself. We call that a solo wine or a cocktail wine because you just sit down with your friends and you drink it. But the cool thing about this wine, the coolest thing about this wine is it's so interesting. And it's all that stuff going on and you can taste it. I don't care if you're not a connoisseur. I hate that word. Because guess what, guys? If you drink wine, you're a connoisseur. Doesn't matter if you know a lot about wine. That doesn't matter. Who gives a crap if you know a lot about wine? If you know what you enjoy, and if you're willing to venture out onto new trails, that's what it's all about. I just discourage people from getting stuck on one wine. If you just drink one wine for the rest of your life, how boring is that? Try new things. $16, not too bad. The color on this is pretty good. I don't know if you can tell. I should get a white backdrop for that. I should. But anyway, I just want you to see pretty good color on this. Well, blue thing is blue. Yeah, that's going to help, right? Anyway, very interesting wine. Very smooth, polished. But at the same time, all those interesting things like the blackberry stem and the black pepper and the white pepper and the, you know, all of that stuff and a little bit of tomato stem, but all buried in that fruit. It has a spicy, kind of racy edge to it, right on the back of the mid palate into the finish. Beautiful wine. I would recommend anybody that wants to dive into the Chilean wines, they would like this. Despite the pyrazines in it, they would say, wow, this is a great wine. Which was true with my group, my tasting group. They loved it. And I can see why. I'm going to go A- on that one as well. I think it's right up there with the Gifford Herlinger. Good price, good quality. I like it. There you go. 4 red blends from all different parts of the world. I hope you enjoyed the program. Really appreciate the support. Don't forget to subscribe. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.